things, but just listening to our own body, really.
Yeah, it's your own inner guidance, isn't it? And
Yeah,
so right, okay, being as we
so
started recording, we can start the actual meeting officially. So officially, tonight's meeting, tonight is 28th of June 2022. I almost said 2020, and this is number one, so it's going backwards in time. But so tonight our theme is all about sound, and so I just wanted to, we put a question forward on Facebook, and if you didn't see it, what I'm asking you is, how are sounds affecting you on this journey? Because my observation has been that how our senses have become much more acute whilst we've been on this ultimate detox. So I just wanted to sort of ask a question of each of you. What sounds are making you feel awesome, and which sounds aren't so? So now, who am I going to ask first? Now this is right, Catherine, you're in the middle.
Okay, cool. I was going to say that I had a really profound experience after a sauna with the drum, and I also felt called to use my voice and to make sound, and it just felt really natural to do that. Prior to coming to the ultimate detox, I had been having some sound healing with a spiritual mentor, I guess you could say, and she incorporated sound healing, and she would get me to make sounds as well. So becoming more accustomed to it, I wouldn't say that I'm more or less affected by sound, but I guess I'm more comfortable with making sound for the sake of clearing energy and clearing frequencies, if that's I guess more comfortable with using sound, I guess.
And it's actually making sounds and singing, even if you've got a good voice.
Oh, you know me, I sing all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Much to Simon's disgust.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think it's disgust at all. I just think it's admiration that you actually just come and burst into song at any moment in time. And I think it's actually incredibly healing and incredibly liberating. And so, okay, now, who am I going to ask next? Mina.
Yes, I think me being a teacher and working with teenagers, I just generally, when I want to sort of talk to someone, I also just naturally burst out into song. And very often, if I want to, like today, for instance, someone got her assessment done, and I would just go, "You are amazing, just the way you are."
Yeah,
so,
girl.
So I've always been a singer, but I've noticed that, especially early in the morning, the nature sounds are more clear to me. And I've also noticed I very often dream, but it's as if all of a sudden in my dream sound play a role as well.
Wow.
Like for a few nights I've been dreaming about my life in South Africa, and then I will hear the nature sounds or the sound of my parents who already passed on. I would hear their voices in my dreams.
Wow.
And but I've always been very tuned into nature and into songs. So music is constantly playing, even in my class. I'm a maths teacher, so I give brain breaks to my students, and then I would put on brain music to stimulate their brain. So I've always done that. It's part of my life, of who I am.
That's amazing. I wish I'd have had you as a teacher, Mina. I think it would have been awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for that share, Mina. It's awesome. Tanya, being as you're next to me.
So So my whole, I'm pretty much like Mina.
Yes.
I'm always using sound and singing instructions to my class and doing that kind of thing. But when I got terminated, I had this, and this is like 8 months ago, I had this calling to make sounds like fuck this. I've got to make some fucking noise.
Yeah, girl.
So then I made my drum.
Awesome.
Nice.
And I haven't warmed it up today because I've been at work all day. And after I made my drum, then I was like, oh my gosh, I need some bowls. I need some bowls. I got to go all out. And so the whole sound shift for me has been quite profound. And I've always been really noisy, and I always have kind of made lots of noise. And I've been taking my bowls along because I'm relief teaching. They finally let me back into the classroom. So I've been taking my bowls along and sound with the kids in the afternoon.
Amazing.
And getting them to, like, I tell them, like, you're x-raying your body, so I want you to scan your body. I want to check where the sounds come. I tell them, oh, it's all about vibration, so you can feel the vibration in here. And today we did sound paintings.
Amazing.
So through the detox, I just feel I guess there's more clarity around it.
Nice.
And I have no idea where it's going. I have no idea where the fuck I'm going.
Yeah. I think
The
we can go tonight with that one.
I'm following the crazy.
The only way is up, baby.
Awesome. Thank you, Tanya. We'll be
Nice
hearing from Tanya a bit later. So
Tanya, can I just ask a question? What age were the students that you used the sound bowl with today?
So I've been in 5 different classes in 5 different ages, from year 1 to year 6 and 5 and 6.
Oh,
yeah.
lovely.
So the
Wonderful.
whole primary school spectrum.
I love it. I love it. I'm an ex-teacher, so I'm just curious.
They're all totally into it.
Yeah. Wow. Nice one.
Oh, you could be the traveling sound teacher.
I'm the Pied Piper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
Okay, Tracy, can you share your sound experience, what you feel?
I've found that certain frequencies I can't listen to. So like even some of the hertz sounds are a little bit too harsh right now. Like I will often listen to 428, 528. Sometimes we'll go to sleep with 999 hertz, but at the moment I can't deal with 999 hertz. It's like, oh no, I just got to have something softer to actually get into sleep. And I have found, I've got a whole album saved on YouTube, which is just called Angel Music.
Nice.
I've searched over time for people who are just, it's angel frequencies, it's stuff to do Archangel Michael and Metatron and stuff, but it's also people making, it's got instrumental, but the sounds of like angels singing in it. And I found I've been quite pulled more to that playlist. And there's a lady who I really love, and I don't know how to say her name, but I think it's May Ian, MEIIAN, Mauritius, and she actually just sings like an angel. Nice. She is absolutely. She plays bowled as well, so sometimes she does it with a crystal
I think
bowl.
I follow her too.
Yes. She's like her other name is XII. Is that one?
I'm not
Mayan?
sure.
Okay.
She's just, but her voice is just angelic. And I've also been listening to into being pulled to listen to more light language as well.
Nice.
So yeah, I find, and sometimes, you know, because in the past I've listened to a lot of solfeggio stuff and things like that, but some of that's kind of like, I just need to listen to something a bit softer right now.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm into angel frequencies right now. That's where I'm at.
That's really interesting. Really interesting. Thank you very much for that, Tracy.
Right.
That's very cool. Okay, Deb.
Wow, listening to all you guys, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm really not listening to enough music and tuning into sound or using my voice as much as you guys are, which is interesting because I'm a singer too. And I really notice when I go through periods where I'm quite cut off from singing. I don't sing at all, to periods where I sing all the time, if I'm involved in bands and stuff. So listening to you, especially Catherine, experimenting with your voice and stuff made me go, oh my gosh, that's what I ought to be doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But I always play frequencies sort of 432 and 528 for Morgan when he goes to bed. And that sort of, you know, permeates out into the boat. So we all kind of benefit from that. I've been tuning into lately, you know, you asked us to think about what we've been tuning into lately. Definitely birds, and especially fantails. Tune into birds whenever I'm out, really. And, you know, in terms of the rest of my everyday life, really, I'm listening to a lot of, I edit webinars, so I'm always listening to webinars. I've got a young son, so there's generally always a lot of noise and all sorts of things happening at once. And I'll often multitask and be writing something or thinking about something, but listening to something else. And it's actually, what I'm realizing is it's probably causing a lot of kind of hectic energy around me, which won't be helping much.
Yeah, I was going to ask how you cope with that.
Yeah, I guess it comes out as frustration and and can lead, and frustration as well if I get a bit discombobulated, or which also is happening a little bit since I've been on the when I'm fasting. I get a little bit forgetful and stuff, or a little bit, where was I? So with extra noise and din around me doesn't really help with that either. No. So yeah, I think I could definitely do better with playing music throughout the day that's going to benefit me and Morgan, and sort of calm us both down, and also work with him more in singing, because he's got a lovely voice and he naturally sings when he plays and things like that. And utilize Morgan as a tool or a teacher for me to start using my voice again in a really free way.
I think that would hugely benefit you, Deb. I think we've talked about this before, about how using your own voice to, and I would say for you, it's like we're going to be talking about different frequencies of different things, and you could focus on the frequency as you're singing, and I think you'll be able to bring those frequencies through.
I came across
okay.
Which could be quite interesting. Don't ask me where that came from. I've no idea, but we'll get into it in a minute. Okay, Koki.
I have just before I go, I have this before I finish, I have discovered a singer recently on YouTube, and I don't know how I came across him, called Dimash, and he's from Kazakhstan or something, and he's massive there now because he was on one of those singing shows, you know. But he has the range from very low to like ultra high, way above soprano, and he's got the most beautiful voice. It's haunting and beautiful, and I've been tuning into quite a few of his songs on YouTube recently. I'm happy to share it with you to discover him. These are amazing. It's like you said, Tracy, it sounds like angel music to me, you know, like he sings like an angel. It is just phenomenal.
Awesome. Wow, thank you very much for that share, Deb. That's awesome. Stephanie.
Hi guys. Sound. I've been quite drawn to being a sound of silence, actually. Just trying to work out what I've been for the last 20 days. So I work with sound quite a bit in clinic anyway with patients already. So maybe it's my time to tune into the inaudible sounds, I guess. Because I really enjoy silence, but I've also been in amongst bush and trees, and I've never been a gardener, but for the last few weeks I've been really drawn to be out in the garden, out amongst the trees here and just weeding and fiddling around for hours and hours and hours on the weekend. So I'm just wondering, as you guys are talking, I was just clicking into the clues that it was giving me, and I think it's really learning to listen to the inaudible sounds, the sounds that are out of human pitch, maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially as you get lots of messages and things anyway, so you're gonna be sort of,
very interesting, because like Tracy, I found that some the music that I'd normally listen to, or sometimes I normally listen to, I've been deflected away from, which has been interesting. So yeah, I'm just tuning into why, because I have all the music off, all the noise off in the house, and there's nobody in the clinic. All the sounds get turned off. I turn the computer on mute, to put the radio on mute, I just, everything goes quiet. So maybe that's what it is. I'll have to think into it a bit more.
Yeah, it's really quite interesting sound, and I think the inaudible is the one that I'm very often drawn to, but Mother Nature, I think. So
yeah,
like you,
good question, good question.
Thank you very much. Okay. Last but by no means least, Annette. Are you with us? Oh, you are. Oh, we can see you. Awesome. Can't hear you though. You're on mute.
Okay,
that's it.
rightio.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Yes.
Good to see you.
I just managed to get my dinner together, realizing how late it is. Yes, lovely to see all you guys and hear you. Sound. Look, I just spend a lot of time, much like Stephanie has been doing recently, but I've been doing this for a really long period of time, just with the sounds of silence is what I call it really, but with nature. I don't play a lot of music. I'll often go to sleep in the evening with the QuantiCap, a healing program that Karen sends me. A new one every week. It's run out, so I need to redo that.
Yes.
If it runs out like that, I usually put on either the frequencies or the balance my chakras, but I have to have it down really quite low, so where it's almost inaudible when I'm in that going to sleep space. And I normally do that when I wake up. I do 30 minutes at night, 15 minutes in the morning, and then sometimes through the day I'll do another 15. But I just I'm just content. I'm just content to be with silence, to be with the sounds of nature, to hear any messages coming through. So I do like to play music, and I do really, really enjoy music, and I love to dance. I just don't, in my own personal private space, spend a lot of time playing music. Sometimes I put it on if I need to rough myself up a bit to clean windows or do something like that, but I just cruise along with the sounds that exist in their own natural state.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think I've been like that too for quite some time. It's the sound of just being in nature and being in the house and just listening to that is far more. And I've been quite a music freak all my life. I've been to many concerts and love to go and see music. And what's quite interesting is of late, the bands and things I used to really love listening to, I don't anymore. So I think because of the different frequencies that we're emitting and everything now, I think it's all about us shifting and changing. And as we're shifting and changing, what we will tolerate and what we actually need is far different to what it used to be. And so it's really quite interesting because as Annette was saying about the QuantiCap, I use an app called The Genius, and it's a biofeedback app. And what I can do with that is I can send specific frequencies to a person or a person's QuantaCat, which is linked to the app. And I could actually go into great detail with that, but I think this isn't the time and the place. However, what is a time and a place is the frequencies to help you with your journey in health. Because if we look at journeys in health, and I've got a file, I'm just going to try and find, so bear with me. Oh, okay, it won't let me minimize. Okay, okay. So I just need to share screen and see if I can find it. So just bear with me. I found this wonderful, and of course I haven't got it up yet. I found this wonderful article which had the most amazing frequencies to help with conditions and also to help with various parts of your body. Now, I don't know, can you see this? Can you see no? Okay, I'm obviously not sharing.
Is that the PDF that you just attached to the group about half an hour ago or an hour ago?
I'm not sure whether I did that. I did a few. So
you want me to come and help you share your screen, Karen?
Well, no, it's all right, I found it. Okay, so I did two things. So, okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, almost. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
We've got various different frequencies here and also musical notes, which is quite useful. So if we look at the kidneys, it's 85 hertz, and it's also musical note F, and it's associated with the lung and musical note E, and that's the frequency. So for lung, so we've got all of those. Isn't that amazing? The hypothalamus, which is what we're working on with the program we're on, or part of it, is musical note A. And for the singers among you, I'm sure you can do those frequencies of singing. So if you're doing the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, I'm sure you can link in with those musical notes. And so just imagine that you're singing in the shower, Catherine, or Deb, you're singing in your boat, and Hermione, you'll be singing at school, and you could be actually impacting everyone who's surrounding you with these frequencies.
Beautiful.
And so I have put this, I think I put this one in our files, because not only have we got all of the different organs of the body, we've also below it, we've also got the frequencies to help with conditions. So for example, Corona 19 is these frequencies. So 100,000, 5,000, 1048, etc., etc. And it goes through, it's quite a long thread here, but it goes through abdominal pain, abscesses, and all sorts. It just goes through all the alphabetical things. So it's got different frequencies for different cancers, for different areas of the body, different parasites, different viruses, different bacteria and fungi. And so these came about because of Mr. Royal Rife. And of course, not the most recent ones, because he's not alive. But Royal Rife discovered that by using certain frequencies, he could eliminate pathogens as well as other diseases. So for example, if you had a certain cancer, he'd use certain frequencies that could destroy and obliterate cancer tumors and cells. And the interesting thing is with this is they're easily available. You can find these frequencies everywhere. You can nowadays get an app which has the Rife frequencies in it. And so if you play the Rife frequencies, they sound awful, but they're discordant sounds, but the frequencies within them are just mind-blowingly effective. So for example, Royal Rife, when he first started, it was in the 1930s, he got together 20 cancer patients who were terminal, and he took them into a hospital and treated them with frequencies only, and all of them were healed. And he took his research to the medical profession, and he basically got shut down.
Wow.
Now, we don't need to go into the politics of this, which I think is absolutely criminal, but the thing is we've had this information for nearly 100 years. And in actual fact, we as humans have been using frequency medicine ever since we've evolved. So we probably use sound in caves where someone would sing, or someone would play a drum, or played sticks together, knocking sticks together. Their frequencies, and if they sounded good, they probably carried on playing them. And I don't know about you, but we were playing drums today, and they totally impacted the whole of my body. And that's because it's a frequency. So our frequencies are impacted by simple things. And I think it's just like this detox, you know, it's quite a simple thing, but oh, so effective. And so what I love about the frequencies is that they're actually unlimited, their potentiality. And we can do it at any time. So, for example, if you've got some crystal glasses, you know, the crystal glasses, you can get them, put a little drop of water in, and you can just play them. You know, they sing to you. And if they sound slightly out of whack, you just put a bit drop of water and you play again. And so then you can create a whole range of notes that you can just play about with. Your children can play about with, your grandchildren can play about with them. And it's actually a healing, a way of helping heal yourself and heal your family and friends. And also by playing those things, of course, you're impacting the whole energy field. And so this is what I just really love about it, is the whole potentiality of sound. And like, you know, we've got lovely Tanya who's going to be doing our sort of meditation type sound healing, that we didn't have access to crystal bowls. We had the metal bowls, but the crystal bowls are far more, they've got a depth of field to them. But we're evolving, and those sorts of things are coming more and more popular, more and more easily available. And there's people who can do healing on us with sound in so many really, really effective ways. And I think the joy of the sound therapy is phenomenal, and the way we can impact. So if you look at, for example, the genius, it always seems to sound the same, but it always has different frequencies underlying it. And when you listen through earphones, you can hear the slight discordance underneath, which is actually the frequencies that are actually like the right frequencies, which are actually sending out healing vibes. And so that's what I just wanted to go through very briefly, because I can talk the hind legs off a donkey about this, but I just wanted to sort of like give you a bit of an idea of how far we can go with simple things. And so the frequencies are so many other things. So it's emotional frequency, and Catherine's going to go through a bit of that in a minute. But I just wanted to know if anyone has any questions about what I've been talking about, and just unmute yourself and just blah.
How can we measure the frequencies? So if we wanted to study, you know, that document that you've got there, are there little things that, you know,
oh, the
frequencies of sound?
There's ways of finding out, but you need lots of different measuring tools, and they cost quite a bit of money. So a lot of people are going into huge research to this. But the thing which I've sort of learned, so hang on, I think I've got my I think I've got on this on my phone. I think I have. Oh no, I don't. I've got the rife frequencies on another app, which isn't here at the moment. But the rife frequencies sound awful. Like it sounds really. Some of them sound really piercing and really but jarring. So what I'm sort of going to say to you is, if you find something a bit jarring, is it really upsetting your equilibrium, or is it trying to clear your field so that your body is actually able to be more clear? So for example, Tracy, you at certain times of the day you can't handle 999. Is it because it's not good for you, or is it because you might need it? I'm just asking a question. I'm not saying one way or another, but it's just to have it then sort of asking your inner guidance, is this feel discordant to me because it's discordant, or is it because I'm more comfortable without it? Does that make sense?
Can I ask a question?
Yep, great question. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Karen?
Of course.
Just tuning into Tracy just now, and when she was first talking about not being able to hear certain frequencies at a time, the message I got quite clearly was to capture them in her water.
Oh.
Can you elaborate on that, please?
Oh yes, of course. So I think everyone knows here that water holds a memory. So, for example, my homeopathic remedies are made from water that I've put a memory of a remedy in it and imprinted it. So I do it with concussion. But if I had the frequencies, and I often do, if I have the frequencies of some rife frequencies, or the solfeggios, or the any other, like the nogies and other frequency that were out there, if you really can't handle it, you could always play the frequency through your phone, and then you can put a water on top, so that those frequencies will go into the water and you can have it like a remedy. So I think it's a really beneficial thing to do, to really realize that all of these elements and are really important for us as humans, because we're all made up of water, we're made up of energy, we're made up of frequencies, that if we have them in balance, then everything feels good. Yeah. Did that answer your question, Stephanie? Anything else you want to add?
No.
Anything else anyone wants to share? That not
I was just
necessarily.
thinking, based on what you were just saying, Karen, that we've got the water jugs that we fill every day with our water to make sure that we're drinking enough. And wondering if we should actually write messages of affirmation.
Absolutely.
Or, messages of love or joy or whatever we're feeling into that day.
Yeah.
You can buy those pens where you can write on mirrors and glass.
Yeah.
That could be quite fun to do that on our water bottles.
Oh, indeed it could. And I mean, the famous experiments, and I can never remember his name, Emoto, isn't it? Is it where he actually wrote on bottles and things?
The hidden messages.
Yeah, and then did photography of it. Oh, that was absolutely magnificent. And so this, to me, is just an expansion of all of that, really. And let's face it, messages of self-love, self-talk, positive self-talk, is all frequency, isn't it? So whether it's vocal or in our heads, it's still self-talk and it's still frequency. And so, whatever you really resonate at, you can always change it for the better. You can change it for the worse as well, but who would want to, so it's actually a matter of, right, okay, how can I feel better about me? How can I give myself a feeling of joy, fun? And I think that's been quite a prevalent discussion over the last few months. Has been, life is meant to be joyous, And so everything you can do to get to feel joyous is the best way to go, because then we elevate our frequencies, and so we elevate our health and well-being, and emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And so, okie dokie. Right, first, I'm just going to find, if I can find the solfeggio one that I had.
I've just, while you were talking, I just downloaded that Rife app on Apple. I'm not sure if it's on Samsung as well, but gosh, there's a frequency for every single ailment.
Oh, isn't there just?
Known to humans.
Yeah, it really is phenomenal, and they're adding to it all the time, the list. And so the lists are just that they just never cease to blow my mind. So yeah, so you can, the frequencies are just infinite, I feel. So,
and I just simply went into my app store and I looked up Rife, R-I-F-E.
Yeah.
And it's there. And so you can select the duration in which to listen to the frequency.
Yeah.
Is there a specific time frame that
it depends on what you're wanting to achieve? So for example, when we used to work with cancer patients, we had, because ours didn't sound, it had the underlying rife, so you didn't actually listen to rife, so it had a sort of top level, a bit like the Genius does, where it's sort of like a ding 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 ding, where it's very gentle and very cordant. It's got a sort of nice, but when you have earphones you can hear the discordance. So it was similar to that. And so we used to, when someone was dealing with incurable diseases, we used to have them on it for about an hour, but the frequencies were changing constantly. So say for example someone had a pancreatic cancer, we'd work on the cancer, and then we would work on the pancreas, and then we would work on the digestive tract, and then we would work on, so we sort of started from the main, and then we used to work our way outwards. So it was about an hour session. And I know that people who use Rife machines here, they don't tend to sit right next to them, they tend to be a bit further away, but they're aiming the frequencies at them. And again, they have an hour and a half session for someone who's sick. Now, if you're not sick, you can say, for example, you feel that there might be some fungus, or so maybe a toe fungus, for example, which isn't impacting any other part of the body. You can play the frequencies for say 10 minutes 3 times a day, and that will make a difference. But you don't have to do it for hours and hours and hours. But if someone has a life-threatening disease, it's good to do a concerted effort. So at the time when I was treating people, there were very, very few people who could afford a Rife machine. So they were about £20,000 when we were using them. So, and that was about 25 years ago. But now you can get them on your phone, and isn't that phenomenal now that we have healing we can have healing on our phone. And they're really reasonably priced when you think about it, So you can treat anything. You can have the flu, various types of flu, various types of, you can treat it with a frequency. And I think it's as limited as your imagination, really. Yeah. Thank you, Catherine, for that. It's really...
And it's not just Rife frequencies. Rife is fantastic, but there are multiple frequencies that you can coagulate the different frequencies. It's like having different ingredients in a cake, for example. Rife is one of the frequencies or one of the ingredients. But if you coagulate it with many other ingredients, it comes together and it's a real power-packed. And if you want it to be really arrow sharp attention towards a particular disease or disorder, or you can have a general healing. Just I need to pick me up.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Rife is very powerful, but I find Rife working in clinic care is a part of the healing session. It's not a sole standalone anymore. I think we've progressed that much further now. It's amazing.
Why would you just do one thing when you can do many?
And they work so beautifully together. The different frequencies coming from in different areas. It's just amazing.
Yeah. And it's a bit like you, Tanya, with your drum and your bowls. They'll work well together, and it's the same thing, really. So, yeah, that's wonderful. Yep. Thank you. Okie dokie. Right. Now, I'm going to hand you over to Catherine for her little. Now, did you want me to bring up the?
Do you know how to make me host or co-host?
I can find out. Hang on. I've got a frequency chart that I can bring up.
Yeah, that's fine.
See if that's the one. See if that's the one you want. That one.
Bring up the map of consciousness one.
That one.
Yes, that would be great.
Okay.
Just reduce the size from 75% down so we can see the top and bottom.
Okay,
please.
how do I do that? Okay.
Oh, that's okay. You can still well, actually, no, if you go down to the bottom of your screen where it's got 75%.
Oh, there. Yeah.
Just bring it down a bit and then.
Okay. Is that enough?
That's probably too small. But anyway, ladies, you can see this on the Facebook page. But I was just wondering, has anyone heard of David Hawkins or read his book Power versus Force? One of the first books I read on this topic of vibrational frequency scale that we have within ourselves, and one of my passions, I guess, in my early days of coaching was the law of attraction, and it took me down this path of where are we when we are attracting and where are we when we are repelling, and what emotions are we experiencing in the repelling or destructive energy, and what emotions are we experiencing or feeling, or what is our frequency when we are attracting. And look, it goes without saying that we are in the frequency of attraction when we are experiencing emotions of love, joy, and gratitude, or peace, or acceptance, or enlightenment. Anything that's basically above courage and neutrality, and anything that is below, which is where we sit in fear, anger, and sadness, we tend to be in the downward spiral, which means that we're repelling things from working for us. What is fascinating is that most of humanity sits somewhere between 200 and 250, which means that most people are actually in a space of apathy, where they are neither repelling nor are they attracting, and so they don't seem to even truly get ahead in life. And so the key, of course, I'm sure you've all heard of the importance of raising your vibration, or being around people that uplift you, or to put yourself into situations that make you feel good, right? These are the things that lift us up the vibrational frequency scale. But I think that the key here, I mean, we're all very lucky because we're aware of this on some level, right? We're aware that when we are sitting in a place of acceptance around the world events that are going on at the moment, for example, that if we stay there, then we are more likely to be in that energy that uplifts us, and we can move past it, and we can see that while we may not agree with what's happening out there in the world, we can focus on we can have reason within ourselves, and we can focus on what is good and what is working for us. We can stay in our little place of that acceptance. When we are existing from a place of fear and worry and anxiety, for example, it's a very, very challenging to get most people out of that place. And one of the keys I found helped a lot when I was trying to share this with people and to help them move up the frequency scale is that to sit in that place of realization that you cannot move from fear up to acceptance. So if you're ever trying to reason with someone, you're going to take them on a journey. You can't expect them to just go straight from, oh my God, this is terrible, I have no idea how I'm going to pay the rent, or I have no idea where I'm going to get my next bowl of broth from, or that's probably a bit of an extreme, but but what you can do is you can bring them up into a place of neutrality. And the way that I have found is through curiosity. And it's a matter of retraining the brain to simply sit with the question, which is, I wonder how I'm going to pay my bills. I wonder how I'm going to, you know, get from A to B. I wonder how I'm going to change my situation. I wonder when I'm going to find love. I wonder when I'm going to, you know, have enough money to buy a house, whatever it is. And what that does is it puts us into that place of the beginning of our inner confidence, because the brain really loves to have a question to solve. And when we ask it from that place, what we're doing is we're not saying it's impossible for me to ever buy a house. It's coming from that place of, I wonder how it would be possible. I wonder what miracle awaits. I wonder when it might happen. I wonder how it might happen. And if that's all someone did when they wanted to change themselves from being in the lower vibration place, and in the what they're calling on this sheet the destructive energy or the repelling energy, that if you were able to get that person just to sit with curiosity, what it does is it gives them hope, and hope is actually above neutrality. Neutral. Am I saying that right? Neutrality.
No, neutrality.
Neutral. Looks like it's got an extra word.
Yeah, it does.
But anyway, yeah. and then people become more willing to see, oh, you know what? It could be possible for me to buy a house, or it could be possible for me to lose all this weight, or it could be possible for me to do this fast, right? You know, so you know, I'm sure you've had people around you that say, oh, I could never do a fast. I could never do what you're doing. Oh, I could never lose this weight. But when you get them into that place of curiosity, it takes them from the place where they're not really shifting their frequency into a place of, oh, you know, actually it really is possible. And yeah, it's a fun kind of game to play, you know, to sit in that place of curiosity. And one of my favorite sayings as I was trying to work my way, you know, through life was, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I know it's all going to work out.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. I don't know when.
That's nice.
But I just know.
Yeah.
So so I guess it's just about being mindful, isn't it, ladies?
Yeah, it is.
You know, and that's the kind of thing that's kind of fun to put on the fridge, and just check in with yourself. Where am I at? Because if you are vibrating on a frequency of 350 or above, you're on fire. You know, you're going places. Your life will be flow for you more easily, and you can move into that place of becoming a manifesting co-creator with the universe on a deeper scale. So food for thought.
It really is, because I mean, you know, when I first saw this, which was a while ago, what amazed me actually was that shame and guilt were so low on the spectrum in comparison to anger, say, which is really quite interesting, isn't it, really? And so, yeah, it's really quite an interesting study, I think, to study how you're feeling right here, right now. Where am I? Where am I? As you say, having it on the fridge, where am I? Oh, I'm there. I'm there. That's cool, you know.
And definitely worth reading that book, ladies. Power Boosts Force by David Hawkins.
It's very much
quite
so.
A game changer.
Really, really is. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Catherine, for that share.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Okay, Koki. Right, now let's Tanya, would you like to perform with your singing bowls? Oh, before you do that, because I think it's going to be nice to really finish with Tanya's singing bowls, is before you leave, what we would like to offer now is this is Stephanie and I, because we both use the biofeedback, and Stephanie wonderfully offered this service as well. For those of you who are the most active on the group, so as in sharing what they're doing, how they're going, and also sharing the memes that they find, which are actually inspiring. So for those of you who are the most active on the group, we are offering a session on the Genius Biofeedback, and anyone who's in Hamilton or the Hamilton surrounds, then Stephanie's offered herself, and I'm offering myself, and anyone who's not local to me, I can do a remote, or one of us can do a remote. So
and it's not including me, because I'm already
She's
Good
already
share.
getting it. So she shares in the frequencies all the time. So, but the thing is for anyone who shares the most, we're offering that. So it's 2 gifts from us for the next 20 days or however many days we've got left. So, by the way, we've decided that we're going to do 40 days in the actual detox and not include the 2 loading days. So I think that's what we've decided. So you can decide one way or the other. But we would love to see as much as possible from you guys here, but also anyone who watches this recording. So the more you comment, the more you share. And we would like to know how you're going, as in how you're feeling. If you've lost weight, if you'd like to share how much you're losing, you don't have to share it on the group, that one, but if you can share with me, I'd really appreciate it. So I can look, so I've got stats and stuff. And also, yeah, just sharing the love and helping everyone through, because this time, and I think Catherine shared a wonderful info about what's going on in the planet, this is a time to really let go of all this negative stuff. And I think it's really important that we support one another going through this, because I think, although the first 20 days has been quite mind-blowing to me, I think the next 20 days is going to be magnificent as long as we stick together and we stick on the program. Okay, so on that note, I would like to introduce the beautiful, wonderful, talented Tanya Miller on the singing bowls, and I'm going to mute myself so that she can't hear me. Okay, awesome.
And Tanya, I was just going to say, I know we know it's 5 to 8, but please do your magic for as long as you feel inspired to.
And I have no attachment to any outcome. So if you come, if you go, I'm all good with it. I'm just going to follow my intuition. If it feels right for you, enjoy. If it doesn't feel right, I'm okay. So I'm going to plug myself in so I won't be able to hear you.
Awesome.
I'm going to go and sit on the couch.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe lie down. If it gets intense, what I've been telling the children is to really breathe into it.
Nice.
And just really focus into what part of the body is feeling a little bit uncomfortable or a little bit different, and to just keep breathing into it. And that's pretty much all I've been telling them, and they seem to be okay with it. So yeah, thanks for listening. And Karen, can you give me a thumbs up if it's all good?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that okay?
Can you turn it up a bit? Can you turn your
Can I not hear you?
Yeah, I could hear it slightly.
Better?
Can you hear that, Karen?
I can hear a little bit, but
The mic obviously can't pick up the type of sound.
no.
Oh, I can hear that. Are you there, Karen?
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Tanya.
Beautiful.
Did you hear me?
Some of the time.
Yeah, some of the time it went in and out, but it was very beautiful when we did hear you, but it was wonderful to watch you too.
But did it go in and out still?
Mm.
Ah,
Some frequencies were quite determined to come through.
They were.
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's really hard because I've been trying to find a microphone that can handle it.
What one are you using?
I've got
Are you using
I bought a.
is that an omnidirectional?
No, I'm on Apple. I have to get my glasses to tell you what it is. It's a Hype mic.
I wonder if you did it above it somehow.
Oh, that's so annoying. It's still cutting out.
You'll get it on the recording. I mean, when it came through, it's incredibly strong.
If it's cutting out, it's because it's too powerful for it.
I've got a friend in Hamilton, Annie Jamison, who does a whole lot of CDs and stuff on. She plays the bowls. It's what she does, and does sound baths. I'm happy to ask her what mic she uses or the best way she's found to get that quality recording or whatever. I'll ask her this week and feed back to you, because just whatever she's found is useful, if that's helpful. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, that would be awesome, because I've been trying to find something that can handle my drums and my bowls, and I've spent quite a bit of money on this.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Have you actually done a recording with that mic?
Yes.
And it sounded fine?
Yeah, it did, but I had to turn it down low, so then it was hard to get the volume.
So that I think the issues that we were experiencing is because we're doing it live over internet. And it struggles with that. If you had recorded it and we'd played the recording on the laptop, that would probably have worked.
Okay.
Well, that's good to know. So what we might do is try that.
Or maybe not.
Yeah, because I've tried that a few times and it's been really bad.
Come over.
Oh, and my speaker.
Send us a recording, Tanya, and pop it in the Facebook group, because that would be cool to hear.
Yeah, I've done a few, but a couple of them you can't hear me, and another one it just comes and goes. So I'll try again.
Yeah, if at first you don't succeed,
I'll try.
Yeah,
try.
Yeah, so
I think the key is not to record it on the internet. So don't do lives, don't do that sort of thing. If you just record it onto a device in your home and then put that file up, that will work.
Okay.
Better.
But anything that your friend tells you, Tracy, would be great to know. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Tanya. Thank you very much all for joining us, and look
Thank you, Karen.
and hearing how you're going. Awesome.
Awesome.
Lovely.
Love it.
Bye.
Thank
Have
you.
a great
Bye.
week. Bye.